Dun, 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 dun. Doc here. It is today Wednesday or Thursday? I think today's Wednesday. So happy to Hump Day, and basically, you can see the currencies are moving up again and again. We've been talking about this for weeks now, looking for strength in the pairs and weakness in the dollar, and it looks like we are getting it. That's a good thing because the dollar is just out of control when it comes to the planet being nervous and buying it all the time. Uh, we're hoping, it's a perfect example of good politics, good government, good business, good legislation, good rules. You have to assume, why do they buy the dollar? I mean, trust me, the U.S. is not buying its own dollar. And the end result is it's because money runs to it, and that's why a lot of us cheered. That's why I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning back in the late, or I guess it was literally almost 1980, and I was going to say late 70s, but early 80s, or 81, 82, to cheer on a European unit. We wanted a European. We needed something to be competitive with the dollar. The the dollar, the external purchasing of the dollar messes up all those fundamental statistics, like Janos talks about at times, and so we were really happy to see a unit, another currency unit that could be competitive. We saw trying to put together the Deutschmark and the French franc and the Swiss franc and the British pound. We were hoping that this could be one unit that would kind of compete, give us a chance to breathe a little bit, not see our money supply 1 or money supply 2 or the M3 or the M4 or any of the other money supplies always kind of out of whack and not making much sense. So you fast forward, here we are, it's 2020, it's almost 40 years now, and as 54 says every so often, it's like, when is the euro unit going to go to zero? I mean, because again, it's a representation of economic policies and business opportunity and combination of freedoms and opportunity to create, invent, develop, evolve, when it comes to commerce and so forth. So anyway, it's nice and heavy right off the bat. Doc just starts swinging for the fences. But there we are this morning. You can see we've seen the cable get up into the 46 area now, or 26 area. I'm sorry, 26 area, and you can see, and we have the algorithm above it. You can see that. There's Oscar. Where you been, Oscar? Welcome back to the hood. I hope you're healthy. I hope everything was fine. I understand things have gotten a little dicey in Southern Europe. 54, what's shaking? What's shaking, bacon? So, I'm doing all right. We're dodging the pandemic, living in the apocalypse. Actually, the apocalypse didn't really have much of an effect when you have as much opportunity that I have. So, in other words, bouncing between 3 different houses and acres of land and privacy, you don't really pay attention to what's going on in the outside world, except for when you go out to hunt and fish, in a sense. Go out and get goods, So it's been kind of like the pandemic has not really had much of an effect on me here. And so it kind of, I feel, it finally hit me, I guess, about 4 weeks ago. I started realizing there's people who've been locked up in tight little situations in, I guess you'd call it, in city-ish type dwellings and suburbia developments where it's very tight, that the life was not as much fun as here, where we're having bonfires and cooking on barbecues and we're farming and we're doing all kinds of wonderful things and not really thinking about it too hard. So it was definitely me starting to realize that the world, as much as I've always known the world doesn't live the way I do, how much pain a lot of people were in over this whole thing. Probably half the frustration we're seeing with this crazy situation. Now it's starting to look like this fellow Floyd who was killed worked with the police officer at one point. They were security guards together somewhere. So there's well more of the story than meets the eye here. Let's see. Oscar says, everything okay, Doc. Just been working hard. Good. That's what we all do. Structuring a new capital core and trading desk at a local free zone. Oh, smart. Smart, smart, smart. We've been doing some of the same thing. We've developed a relationship with some old traders from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and we have now set up a service. So we're kind of like you and I have both been swinging away at the same thing, I guess. We call it Chicago Quant Technologies. And so we're, as a matter of fact, one of the big organizations in Germany are asking to connect into it and so forth. Let's see. Oscar says, missed your daily talk, my friend, but I'm back. He's back. That's good. Welcome back. Oh, yeah. And 54 has been playing with the euro. Let's see. Germany came up with a terrible job number. DAX went straight up. Modern economics. Isn't that the truth? I guess what, anticipation, the markets, the old guys, I know I'm an old guy now, but the old guys on the trading floor, when I was a young punk, in my 20s, they would say stuff like, buy the rumor, sell the news, And I guess what it was is the rumor was the numbers were going to be a certain thing. This is just off the top of my head, not knowing anything about the German numbers. But it always, I think it's what they call it. It's indicative across everywhere. In other words, buy the rumor, sell the news. In this case here, the rumor obviously was the numbers were going to be bad. And obviously they came out nowhere near as bad. So selling the news in that sense is covering your shorts, and it goes up in value. And that's usually the way it goes. Coloco, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome to the hood. And so that's usually that's the crazy that it happens, with that economics thing, 54. It's like you're thinking, okay, bad number. Like today, I think we had our ADP number out, right? And it was nowhere near what they were expecting, 9.4, and it came out 2.5 or something like that. And so the market, I guess it's firmer. Is it firmer? Yeah, it's firmer. And the Nasdaq or the high tech. Let me just show you what the stock market's doing with, and then we'll go back over to the currencies. But look at the Dukascopy's on J4X. You have the where is it at? It's right. Not there, right there. There it is. The USA Tech Index, which is the NASDAQ 100. Now, this thing is the all-time high is like 97 something. I think it's like 97.30 something, right? Right there. There it is right there. 97.51. Okay. And here we are now trading at 96.74. We're 75 points away. This thing goes up and down 100 points. With like normal. That's like normal. I mean, it doesn't. That's not abnormal. I mean, it's just like a normal day. Up 100 or down 100 points with no problem. So the bigger question now becomes is that the high today is 9697 at the moment. That's the high for the day. On Dukascopy, the high today is, let's see what we have there, because this might be the cash. This is 9699, right? I mean, look at that. So you're only talking 50 points away from all-time highs. Now this obviously is the FANG, the home of the FANG. I mean, you're talking about Facebook and Amazon and Apple, and you're talking about Microsoft, and you're talking about Google, and you're talking about like Intel and Cisco and Tesla and Netflix. You're talking about the modern economy. And that ain't going anywhere. That's staying where it's at. So, let me see. Now it's a buy. The rumors and the news. Yeah, well, they're buying shorts possibly. MHB, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. And what's it? Coloco? You're looking. Are you looking for the dollar? Some research on the dollar. What are you thinking there when you say USD? Do you want me? Is there a pairs or just the dollar itself? Adrian, what's happening? Yeah, I was making a joke to myself. I guess it was about 12 hours ago, and I was saying buy in May and come back in a few weeks because that's all it seems to be doing is finding a way to go up in value. Yeah, I hear you there. That makes yeah buying all. Well, I had this, this one old. I have a lot of old traders. When I was a young guy, there was a lot of veteran guys, running the exchanges, and I was a pretty good trader, so I got to be known. And one of them, he's in his late 80s, mid 80s now, and he was a chairman of an exchange, and he was on major committees in the Nasdaq, and just the whole bit, And he sent me an article over to, at 4:09 this morning. It said something like the market that the rally that they love to hate. And I texted him back and I said, if you're a money manager and you invest like it's 2020, you don't hate it. But if you're a money manager who invests like it's 1975, you gotta hate it because it doesn't make any sense to you. And so, yeah, I agree with you there. That makes a lot of sense, in the sense of, the markets, buy it all. What the hell's going on? Can you share me your website to check your service? Sure. Let me go try to do that. Robin's usually here, who's running the operation. And he usually is firing that out left and right. Let me see if I can find it here. I know I have it here somewhere. There it is. And and you just have to put the .com in there. I think that's how it works. Let's see. We'll go like that. Backspace that. No, that's the wrong keyboard. Backspace that. Oh, Magoo. And backspace that. And copy that. And here we go. Let's see if I can get this right. Here it comes. There it is. So you just have to put a .com at the end of that and HTTP in the front of that with the slashes. That's where it goes. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I'm answering everybody's question though here. Let's see. Buy it all. Yeah. So anyway, Adrian, I said that, and then I thought to myself, I say it all the time. There is an equity inflation going on. In other words, the central banks have been hunting for inflation. It's all right there in the equities, and and a good example of it is the Wilshire 5000 index. There's only like 3,800 stocks in it now, but they still call it the Wilshire 5000. There's 1,200 companies that are gone. They've been merged and incorporated and whatever. And it's the same way everywhere. The New York Stock Exchange does not have anywhere near the amount of stocks they used to have. And what it is that companies are buying companies up, and those assets are disappearing. And so there's an asset inflation of the lack of inventory. There's just less companies out there. Let's see now. Forex says dollar yen still long since yesterday break. How high can this thing go? Well, I don't usually give a general idea of how high something can go. What we do is we tell you the general trend, the solid trend, like a 9 out of 10 is going to go somewhere. So let's just go show you. So here, let's go to the yen. Here's dollar yen. And what we do is we know how money managers think, and because I worked in the hedge fund industry, and so I know what they're thinking. And let's find it on our algo. Our Chicago Quant algo, right there. Now it's back up on J4X. All right, now let's take a look at it on our spreadsheet. Where are we on that product? That is line 19, right? So we're 2 weeks in a weekly buy. Right there, 2 weeks in a weekly buy, as you can see. See, weekly buy right there. And 3 days in a daily buy. So it's been in a buy for a couple days. In this case here, the line has not been moved. And that needed to be moved over to there. It's been in a buy for 3 full days there. Okay, and now it's going on 4th day. Now, the way we look, there's a couple ways you can play this. One is to try to figure out how high it's going to go. Is what you do is you take our weekly sell number and you Fibonacci it up to some of the highs. So in the case here, like you got the J4X, okay? Let's see if we can do this for you. Maybe we're going to make this a little bit bigger too, like that. And what you do is you Fibonacci it from the weekly sell, and I don't think we have the weekly sell in there, so let's go find the weekly sell for you too at the same time. And then what happens is it helps to give you a projection. What you can do is you Fibonacci like a high to our weekly sell number, and that will give you a trail. If it's in a weekly buy, which it is now for the last couple of weeks, as you see on our spreadsheet, it tells you that it could go in that direction. Now, money managers are going to do this. They're going to play with these highs. They're going to play with that like they did there. You can see they played with it, and they sell it. Then what they do is you find the next high, some type of high that's occurred, like the wild spike high there. See how it's already finding it there without me even looking. Then the next one is that high right there. Also, they look at the lows of things like that from the highs, and they try to lighten up. Money managers are trying to average all the time, and so that's why you see the buying and selling pressures at these points. What they want to do is they want to average, and they don't have much. There's not many tools for them to average when it comes to trying to get out minus keeping their portfolios in balance. So in other words, you have a portfolio and you have 25 products in it, because that's what you take a $2 or $3 billion fund. That's what they like, because they like to have that. And you get into like a $7-8 billion fund, they have 40 some odd positions, maybe 50. Then you go to like a $30 billion fund, they might have like 100 positions. And so what they try to do is keep that portfolio balanced. In other words, they have 2% of everything. 2% of this, 2% that. And then what happens when it goes up to like 3%, they lighten up and bring it back down to 2%. So they sell some of it out. When it goes down to 1.5% or 1.25% or 1.625%, depending on their policy, they start to buy some more. So it's like this averaging thing. It's kind of like an engine with pistons, and that's how they're thinking. And so that's why these highs and these lows have influence. Because the managers are like thinking, okay, I'll buy the lows of the last 6 weeks, or I'll sell the highs of the last 4 weeks. I mean, they just pull it out of their heads like that. That's where they're at. Now, to be more accurate, let me go give you the weekly sell number for the yen. I'm heading there now. Where is it at? Doc has got to open it up on the other machine, and I didn't do that. Do I have it on? I did write them down. I was doing them for everybody, and where is that at? It's around here somewhere, and maybe is that it? Is that it? Where is it at? I had them written down at one point, and let me see if I can find it, and if not, I'll just run it on the machine. But there they are. Okay, let's see if I had the yen in there. No, I didn't get to the yen. I had CAD, Swiss, and Aussie, and I had crude oil, and I didn't even get to the gold or the silver on that. We've been answering a lot of questions and doing a lot of things. So let's see if we can finish off this answer to Adrian so I can go on to the next answer there. And that is, let's go to Dukascopy on the other machine. I have it labeled as Dukascopy. And Dukascopy week. Okay, so let's take a look at the weekly number. And then what we'll do is we will find the weekly number, and I'll show you an example on this yen chart. Oh, look at that. It went right to the yen because I guess I was looking at it. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're looking at, very interesting. Okay, so we're looking at a weekly sell number of 107.19. 107.19. Let me write that down too at the same time. Where are we trading at right now? 108. 107.19. Let's put that in there. Yen. 107.19 is the weekly sell number. All right, we're going to put that on the spreadsheet. And then what you can do is, or what I'll do is I'll show you how I do it. 107, what was it? 19. 19. There. Let's see if that works. Good. Okay, there it is there. Now, what we do is we take one of these lines. Well, we'll put a new line in there. Let's get rid of these lines, actually. Well, no, let's leave them in there. And then let's do this. Let's see if we can get the Fibonacci tool. And this will help you get an idea of directions. I think it's retracements. Where is it at? Indicator. I know it's here somewhere. I play with it every so often. There it is. Fans, let's just retracements. Let's try that. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to 19 right there. And then we want to look at basically this high right there you would use to start off with, just because of those other highs. So you can go with that. And then let's see if we can make this bigger. Let's see, where is it at? Is there another one? Why isn't it not showing us? Let's try that again and remove it. And let's try it again. Again, periods. Maybe they mean by GAN. No, no. Let's see, let's try it one more time. Zones. So back to 17 again. Okay, this is the time zones instead. Forget that. Incorrect. Let's try one more time. Retracements. I thought I had the retracements right. 17. Oh, I see. It's different colors. That's what it's all about. Okay. And so, you know, matter of fact, in this case here, take this high. It's already been there once. Actually, we want to lower it down to that high, really, the line there, and it already broke through it. So you take this high in here. If we scrunch this up, start looking at this high. So let's see if we can move that out. That doesn't want to do that. So what we'll do is we'll remove this, and then we'll jump on to something else. But I just wanted you to see how they remove. There we are. And we'll go back to it again. Fibonacci retracements, and we'll go to the 17 again, and then bring it up to the next high right there. Stop there. But anyway, you get the idea. Let me do this one more time. I'm going to remove that one more time. I've got everything set, and then we'll jump to the next subject, because I don't want to torture everybody by me being incompetent. Retracements again. 17 from the weekly sell, basically all the way up to there, to that high. Oh, I see what it is. I'm not doing it wide enough. That's what it is. Remove one more time. Oh my God. Yawn, yawn, right? So 117, and you'll see when I do this right, there it is. When you do that, you can see the lines. You can see it basically hit that one right there. Okay, and then, you know, it could probably run to 110 or something like that. Who knows? But in our case, the way we look at everything, and as long as we're in daily buys and weekly buys, it's going up. And when it isn't in a daily buy, then it's going sideways or down, and it's a neutral position to us. And if we're in a weekly sell and a daily sell, then it's going down. So that's pretty much the whole magic to it. Sorry about that, Adrian. It took a little while for us to get that up there. But that's the only way we kind of look to see if you're trying to project where it can go, by looking at the old highs. All right, let's jump on to, let's see, ADP number is definitely wrong. It will be revised massively next week. You think so? You know, I saw the individual stats. It didn't look too bad, and it makes sense. And all I'm hearing is jobs everywhere. I mean, people are getting hired everywhere. This economy in the United States is getting ready to explode on the upside. That's why the Democrats have started their campaign season early with the riots. So now, let's see, exactly. The central banks are on their last leg to take over. Let's see, I must have missed something there. They've already taken over. They took over a long time ago, but now they are out front. Basically, they're not afraid to. Oh, and that was that wasn't Adrian. That was Ferris. So I hope that helped you out, Ferris. Ferris M. I hope that gave you an idea. You watch the spreadsheet, and then you look at old highs or old lows, and rub Fibonacci number from our number to that, and you can see where it's stalled out right there. You know, right there to that little red zone thing. So Let's see. So Adrian is saying exactly buy it all. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's no problem. No problem at all. Ask any questions anytime. I will. Normally I don't stumble that much, but I stumbled pretty good today. I hadn't used the Fibonacci on the J4X for a while. I've been so busy that I don't get a chance to do a lot of trading. It really is a drag. I like trading. See, this month unemployment is at 12 million by itself. Yeah, I guess. I don't think it means much though. That's the problem. I mean, when the government shuts down the country, shouldn't it be at 365 million? Minus the police and the firemen and the first responders and the doctors and the nurses and and the supporting staffs. Isn't it kind of like I'm amazed that we're not like at 70 million or something like that. Honestly. So I don't know. I can't take the unemployment numbers too serious one way or the other. So ADP coming in low doesn't surprise me at all. All I'm hearing is everybody's getting jobs left and right. There's jobs everywhere. The economy is trying to lift. I mean, it's like, we have this rodeo. We have America's oldest rodeo, no more than like I guess about 18 kilometers from the farm here, and it's been around since like 1800. And it's like a bucking bronco. It's like a bull, just in the chute, ready to go out. I mean, this economy in the States wants to explode. Everybody's been pent up. Mr. Trump made sure that the capital was spread around so that everybody was going to survive. Mortgages have been delayed and put 3 months further out. I mean, just the whole thing. I mean, so in the end result is that it to me, I don't. I don't see it any other way. Half of those jobs are not coming back. Not half. No, I keep on hearing 10 or 15% at best. They're saying that a lot of people that I know are saying, that I mean that they're in business and so forth, say that they think that 10 to 15% of restaurants and 10 to 15% of little businesses are not going to come back. But someone else will open up and create a new one. So I don't know if it's creative destruction. I think that's the best way to describe it. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Does that make sense? 54 or what? Let's see. I can just take a look at the webinar. Let's see. US dollars super. Okay. So, let's go over to where did we leave off? We were looking at cable and we were looking at the euro. Did we look at the euro? The euro's doing the same thing too. There's the euro. It's moving up also, looking very fine. Look at that. It was up in the 112s at one point. Look at that on J4X. And let's see, we move this down a little bit, and we'll put in. Let's see, right there. Now, what is that? Maybe that needs to go up a little bit. Yeah, like that, and then move J4X back up again, like that. Now let's take a look at. I want to be able to show you the. Oh, I know it's doing it. It's this one. So we move that one up like that. And then we move that one up like that. And then I can move J4X up like that. And then we can see the lines here with that. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the euro. Is there any other questions out there? I don't want to miss anybody's questions. So yeah, that's where I am with the unemployment thing. And I don't think I see any other questions out there at the moment. But if you got them, fire them out. I promise not to be as long and lost as I was on the last one. And there we go. That works out better. There we go. Now we can lift it up. And so there's the euro, and there's the euro in the our Chicago Quant algorithm now. And you can see, it went into a buy there. That's why it says on line 14, 2 weeks in a buy, 6 days in a buy. And you can see there's the buy there after the goofy 4 weeks of buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I mean, that's so rare to see anything like that. And you can see how on J4X, you see how this matches up to our work. I think we have to go like that a little bit more. I think that's how it is. Is that how it is? Or is that it right there? Yeah, that's probably it, like right there. And just like move it over. So it's something like that. And you can see how our rhythm is caught by this. The rhythm is caught by that. Now, obviously it's not as good as ours, but you know, if you're going to have to, if you need something and you're not tuned into this hour, this is the best way to find it by using these combinations on a J4X there. So it's a slow stochastic, a fast stochastic, and then a rate of change gives you the rhythm of what's going on. But unfortunately, it doesn't give you like our zero line and all the other work. But they're the closest you're going to get to being remotely relating to our mathematics. So that's where we are there. Let's see, what else are we doing here? This is the euro against the dollar, and it's showing firmness. And I know that everybody's saying, how can they go up? Why would anybody buy that thing? It's not as much as they're buying it as they're selling dollars. That's really what it comes down to. Is the objective is to liquidate some dollars. I mean, really, that's what the name of the game is liquidate some dollars. Dollar is awful strong, awful high. I think on our index, you can see we're a couple weeks in a sell, is it? Let's go over to the spreadsheet again. Right there on line, where is it? Line 26. We're 4 weeks in a weekly sell there. So, it's been going down. I've been saying it's going down. Euro AUD, sure. I saved that one too. I don't think, we didn't lose it, that's for sure. Where is that at? Euro AUD. I could have sworn, did we put it over in the futures maybe? Let's see, there it is, right at the bottom. You can see there. Now, I don't know why the buy is all the way over to there. Oh, I guess we were thinking maybe it was going to try to go up in value. Instead, what it's done is it's gone into a sell right there. I guess that's the last time we looked at it. And so now instead of going up like we were thinking it might do, it's been in a weekly sell, as you can see across here. We went into a daily sell and it was safe to be short, and it's gone down. But today it's trying to pop back up again. You can see that. Let's see, what else? Let me see, do you want me to find you the weekly number on that? I can go over to the other machine and hunt that down too. Let's see, Euro AUD, copy. Alright, let's run that puppy. Format. Yeah, that's it, there it is. Let's see, it's filling in now because it's not in the machine all the time. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah, they got to do a lot of work. They got to do a lot of work to get this thing into the buy. We're looking at 169.77. Cool, I like that. Play that number. 169.77. 169.77 on Euro AUD. I'm writing it down there. Do we have it on? Do we have a spot on the spreadsheet there for it? We can put it on there. Euro A. I guess that's what it is there. Euro A. What was that? 169.77. And how many weeks has this thing been in a sell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 weeks. Okay. So it's been in a sell for 7 weeks now. Sell. All right, there it is. And almost went into the buy and then it failed. I guess I must have given you a weekly buy number before. Last time we looked at it, you can see some of the marks on here. We were obviously anticipating it possibly going into the weekly buy. You can see it there. So we can widen that for you. You can see it tried to climb up, I guess, last week when we were looking at it, but we had those green and red dots showing volatility to come, and sure enough, smack-a-doodle. All right, and then let's put it over here on J4X and see what we can find from this. Euro AUD right there. Oh, it's at 62 and change. Woo! Boy, that thing's got a lot of work to do. You can see here on the J4X, It's trying to bounce off of some type of bottom, but look at it. The solid line is really battling. It can't even get through dash. But it's trying lift today, that's for sure. Did they go down there to 160? Wow. I hope you're short that puppy. Hey, if you hate that's the wrong word. If you wanna short the euro all the time, then you must be shorting this thing too, right? Is that the right way to go? So in other words, you're bearish on the euro, right? So you would be buying this. What would you do? You buy this or you sell this to be short the euro, right? Kristen, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple days. Hope everything is fine. And so that's the action there. So I guess as this is going down and the euro dollar is going up, I guess what does that mean? I guess it means more sellers for this, that's for sure. All right, yeah, I guess so. And so it's going down. What's next? Let's see. What were we doing? We didn't take a look at the Turkish lira yet. Let's see what that's doing. Turkish lira. Right there. It wasn't a daily sell, I noticed. And it's below the weekly last I saw, too. Right there. And the Turkish lira sell number is 6.7421. 6.7421. And we're trading at 76. It's climbed back over it again. My God, can't this thing find a way to get in? It's 26 weeks in the sell. 26 weeks in the sell, Turkish lira. 26 weeks. Way back in here. Half a year ago. Everything fine. Oh, that's good. You know, we are in the world pandemic, you know. So that's where we are with that. Oh wow, look at that. You know, it's been in the daily sell for a couple of days there on the Turkish lira. And is that the Turkish lira? No, that's the euro. We're looking at the wrong thing. Let's go back to the Chicago Quant and get that right there. There we are. Yeah. And it's trying to lift up again. I mean, they really don't want to sell this product, do they? Let's take a look at CAD. I put CAD on the charts there last night. I thought that was cool. Sent them out. There's CAD. And it's just kind of mumbling and stumbling on the downside there. We went into the daily sell there. Tried to get into a buy and failed. Didn't even get into the buy. And then, you know, we've been in a weekly sell from there. See how it looks on J4X. Right there. A little firmness there today, but down full 5 handles. I guess that's doing better. Something like that. You know, the economy in Canada doing better. I guess that's what it is. So, that is probably the best way to describe that. Also, at the same time, we always think of the oil market when I see the Canadian market. When oil is doing well, it seems like the currency is doing fine. And when the oil is not doing well, the currency seems to be doing poorly. And so that's where it seems to be right now, is that it's doing fine. And oil, last I saw it, was in the 36s still. Maybe even a 37 high today. So, and then I saw this wild headline and I thought, oh no, what's going on there? And they said, you know, oil getting crushed from some number or something like that. And I thought, oh man, they must be, you know, clocking that thing. So I go and take a look at it, and oil's down like 38 cents. And it's like, why do they say that stuff? Why do they make it sound like the world's coming to an end? It's only down 38 cents. So let's do that. Let's zip over to oil. Let's take a look at that. Right, where is it? Right there. So you can see oil's still hanging around the 36s. It's 36.45. I don't know why they claim it's getting clocked. I don't see any big selling going on. It was on the headline somewhere. Oil being sold off heavily. I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, let's take a look. Is it down to 33? It was like 36 and a half. I'm like, that's not exactly selling hard. You can see here, J4X, this thing, the line has turned down for it. No doubt about that. We are. 4 weeks in a buy, 4 days in a buy. Our weekly sell number is 31.47. I was thinking, wow, are they going after that? Cool. Let's go find it on that, not that, that, not that, right there. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I had it up there because I was wondering what was going on. There it is. And so, come on, fill in. There it is. You know, it doesn't look like it's going after any. Look at this. The time manifold. Was it the creamsicle time manifold there? It's bouncing off the line. It's not even having much of an effect. See? Not even much of an effect. It's not even breaking down there. No doubt that the histogram has moved down below it, but you know, looks fine here. It looks like it's moving up. Look at this. The black line on the weekly chart is moving up really strong also. Hey Robin, how you doing? So the action is you know, the crude oil is you know, not really getting sold down much, and the only reason it's going up obviously is that the economy is getting ready to turn back on again, and I don't think the ADP is going to be really adjusted next month compared to this month. I mean, maybe it pushes up to like 3.5 million or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? The damn thing could flip the other way even more. People are being hired left and right. You know, it's amazing. People, anybody willing to come out the door and work is being hired. So ADP kind of follows that stuff, you know. So we'll see. But as far as I can tell, the markets overall are trying to go up in value, not down in value, because again, there's not many assets around to be had. And so I guess the reason why the euro and the cable are all going up is maybe a little money being distributed out to other countries. In other words, and funds are starting to reach and buy a little bit, hoping for a strong American economy. Kind of lifts all boats to some extent, unless it's leaking, of course, because it's a poorly maintenance boat. Or in the case of a country, it would be the poor maintenance is bad laws that hurt businesses to grow. And so you would assume that is China more capitalistic than Europe? Nope. So you would think that the currency in Europe would be going up in value. China's currency doesn't even float, so there's no competition there. Is you know, the Chinese doing better than United Kingdom? Nope. Again, United Kingdom's currency is floating and tradable, and China's is not. So I think that China is about number 4 or 5 in the world in economy. You know, I think that it's, you know, it may be below Europe, because if the currency floated, it might be a 21 or 22 yuan. So you'd have to cut the currency, even if you were conservative, and moved it to 14 from 7. That would cut the economy right in half. So it would be like half the size right off. I would just have to assume it could be worse than that. It could be 21. It could be 22. All of a sudden, you're only talking about a $2 or $3 trillion economy versus a what is it now, like a $7 or $8 trillion economy. So without a floating currency, you really can't say anything about China, you know, good or bad. You can just only say that it's not in the measurable universe. I mean, that's really what it is. It's kind of like more of a colony to the United States, China. Only thing is that we don't really own anything there. They control everything, but we buy a lot of goods from them. Do we buy a lot of goods from them? Yes. No. Yes. I mean, we spend $400 or $500 billion a year. That's what Mr. Trump has done. That's why all this world calamity going on is that China is not happy about the fact that we're not force feeding them money. They love being force fed money from the United States. No one else can do it. So you know, that's what the anger is all about. That's what that virus was all about, as far as I can tell, is that they didn't mind to let it loose. But notice that Beijing and the rest of those places in the country weren't shut down as much as Wuhan was shut down, and the people were allowed to travel around the world from Wuhan, but not other places in China. So something's very confusing about the whole thing. But again, it comes down to currencies here. And we do know that currencies you know, all these currencies we look at are floating currencies. The reason we don't look at the China yuan because it's it trades less than 1% in world markets. So how can it be the second largest economy if their currency doesn't trade in the world markets? Obviously, it's not the second largest economy. You know, I think that's pretty much the fact there. So, oh, let me just see. Then off. I am not in. Yeah, to let both us in. There you are. Okay, so yes, that's where we are. And so that's the only way I can understand it. I'm not trying to knock it down. I'm just trying to tell you the facts. That's all we see, the math to it all. So anyway, looking at here, crude oil, you know, supposedly there was this rumor at the beginning of the week and going into last week that China was buying oil again. I guess, you know, I mean, I think it's the U.S. economy myself. I think, you know, U.S. economy is getting ready to get cranked up. And when the U.S. economy gets cranked up, watch out, baby. You know, we're the engine of the world, so you know it kind of moves things a lot faster and stronger. As you can see here, you know, crude is, look at that, J4X. Since we started looking at it on J4X, it's climbed about 20 cents on the upside. So I mean, it's, you know, I don't see it any other way, and I don't see anybody selling anything down when it comes to oil. It's just sideways, little profit taking, if nothing else. I mean, look at it. And we haven't been up this high since the Wuhan virus. I mean, you're looking at, where's that line thing there? There it is, right there. You're looking at 41, you know, 40. Now we've been as high as almost 37, right? No, we've been as high as 38 today. Okay, $3 away. So we're climbing back to the beginning of the Wuhan virus. I mean, that's where we are with the number 19. Number 19 is alive. All right. Let's see. What else can we say about that? I guess that's about it. Any other questions out there? If not, we'll just keep on rolling with the homies. Anybody want to see any particular product? Oh, let's do gold. We haven't seen the gold of late. We've been doing webinars where we're answering a lot of questions, and we haven't had a chance to talk about the metals market there. There's gold today. Oh, look at that, 1705. We are 9 weeks in a buy, 3 days in a buy. Let's see what it looks like on the Chicago Quant. Right there, like so. In an August contract there. Are we through the daily sell? Oh yes, look at that. That'd be dropping hard. We were red dot yesterday. We almost went into the sell yesterday, and it, I don't know, the last couple of days it's tried to play with the sell, and then it's kind of come back, you know. But today they're driving it. Look at it. Look at that. Driving it hard. 1705. Wow. And it's at 1707 on the futures contract, and you're talking August, right? So you're talking, it's a carry of only $3 basically. Less than $3 carry. So things are getting much more normal. So, you know, you'd have to wonder, are they going to get up to 41 or so with the oil before they start to back off? Or they just go sideways. And that's what they seem to be doing. I mean, they had it up to 38 and change today, so that's pretty impressive. Let's take a look at, what else can we say about that? You can see here, look at that wild spike and then bang, 2 days zoomed down. So let's go hunt down the weekly sell number. I think I have to change this the calculator too on that. Where's that at there? Let's go like that to that, and then we go to, let's see, let's go open that, because we got to make sure it has August in there. Last time we were doing it was June. Was it June? Yeah, June. And so front month is now August in futures contracts. So let's go to that and see what that says. as we open up that machine. Lots of wild stuff going there. Cancel those things out. And let's go. Uh-oh. Everybody be doing it. There we are. Where's that one at? Something's wrong here. How did I lose myself? Not that. I don't want that one either. I want me. Where am I? I can't even see the chat line again. I lost the chat line. I hit the wrong button there. There's the chat line. There we are. Okay, there we go. We're back to it again. All right. All right. Now, oh yeah, crude oil. Oh no, gold. Oh, there it is. There's gold. All right. So we're looking at, in gold, oh yeah, we're below it. We're looking at 17, what is that? Yeah, 1719, wow. 1719.5. 1719.5. Let's put that in. 1719.5 is the weekly sell number there for August. Last week we played with the number, but it found a way to climb back up. So we'll see if it tries to do that again. And we'll see how they're rolling with that. What else can there be said about gold? Very impressive though. You can see it there, 1708 on the futures, almost 1706 offer there on Dukascopy. That's a $2.50 carry. My God, that's screaming normalities coming back to our markets, if there is such an animal anymore. In other words, less panic. Let's put it that way. Maybe not normality, but less panic. That's what it really is screaming and saying, is there's less panic now about the markets. That's really what it comes down to, is just less panic. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And we'll see. You know, we'll have the unemployment of ADP next month. We'll have U.S. unemployment coming out Friday. Yeah. That should be interesting. All right. Let's take a look at silver too. There it is there. We're still in the June contract with that. Now that's holding up. 1774. It's still leading. I think it was in the 18s though. But that's rolling over also. Let's see if we can find out on Forex here. There it is. I mean on not that, on Chicago Quant. There it is. Coming through the daily sell also. The weekly sell number there looks like it's even lower. We'll have to go check that on the other machine. Let's do that. Interesting. It is starting to move in some weak ways. There's no doubt about it. And the futures contract is trading at 1804, so the carry is a little bit higher on that. We're looking on a weekly sell number of where we are there. That's very interesting. We're looking at a weekly sell number of 1829. Oh, that's not the same. 1820. Okay, that's not too bad. 1829. Let's put that in there. Where do you go? 1829. Right there. There we are. So we'll see what that does. But we are below it at the moment. We're at 1805. 1804.5. You can see the spot is at 1775. Some pressure. You can see on Forex. This thing is bending down hard and fast. It's falling like a rock. We'll see. Silver has been outperforming a lot. It's even been outperforming the Bitcoin. Looking very firm in a lot of areas there. Matter of fact, what is it doing against Bitcoin this morning? Let's just take a look at that. Where are you? Alright, let's see if that's it right there. So, why is that not trading this morning? Okay, so Bitcoin, let's see if we can find it on the chart there. Bitcoin is, where are you? Let's see what the index is. Okay, so they haven't opened up the index on Bitcoin yet. Let's see what the futures looks like. Because Bitcoin's been underperforming, silver's been rocketing. Has been just totally rocketing. Let's see, futures. Let's take a look at the June contract. It's up actually. It's firm. It's up $90. We'll see how that goes throughout the trading day. It sold down yesterday with silver, but today it is it's actually holding up firm, whereas silver is getting knocked down. I see some of the grains starting to lift up a little bit. I'm looking around the neighborhood trying to figure out what's going on there. See if there's anything jumping out. Okay, let's see. Interesting. There's a nice discount to the index, though. There's like a $400 discount to the index versus the futures contract. I wonder what that's all about. So he traded at a discount. Huh. That's odd, isn't it? All right. We're coming kind of down to the end. What should we call today's webinar? Currencies? How about Forex in the V bottom? I think that's what it looks like to me. I've been saying it's V bottom for a while. It's, to me, we're in a V bottom. And, this thing is turning up and doing its best to go up in value. And that's what we've been really looking at here, is why they're selling down dollars and buying other pairs trades, is because they see possible opportunity with an economy starting to turn up. And if the United States economy takes off like a rocket shot and we go like, 4 or 5% or 6% GDP, that's going to bleed over into other countries. And so I guess you could say Forex and the V bottom. Like that. I think that's really where we're at. And I would imagine if we keep on seeing the metals fall down, we see gold stay firm. Did I say gold? I mean crude oil. See them like gold stay down, and oil stay firm in the 30s, the mid to high 30s. Bonds, I think I saw the ZN went into a daily sell yesterday, was it? Yeah, there it is. On line 11, you can see that. The 10-year bond here in the States went into a daily sell. It's been a weekly buy for 7 weeks there now. So you start to see that, and you see that thing go into a sell, then you're going to start seeing even more economy moving up. And I think that's how we're really rolling around here. So if there's no other questions, we will get rolling and out of here. And we will catch you all tomorrow on Thursday. So happy to hump day. Be safe, be smart out there. And we're here tomorrow for any and all questions. Don't be scared to ask, because I am loving answering. Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again.